Hey there, Drawyah here, and welcome to Microsoft Flight Simulator. Today, taking flights in the Boeing 747 and flying transatlantic from London Heathrow to New York JFK. So it should be a rather long flight. Well, it's a long flight today. It's about 7-8 hours an length, depending on the wind speeds right now. But it should be a rather good one today. I'm expecting it to be, well, it should be quite pleasant, that's for sure. So set the aircraft up, we'll get everything ready to go, and in a couple of minutes, we'll get everything ready for airborne as well. Let's jump to the cockpit, and that sets everything up. Hopefully, chat's going to work on me again, but you know what this is like, it's very temperamental at the moment. And there we go, slowly coming into life now. So, alright, first things first, we'll turn on the batteries. We'll turn on the external power. And since boarding in this aircraft will take a fair while, we'll, ooh, got the fuel right out. Okay. So, fuel on board, we need 184,797. Nope. 181. 189. So, that's about the amount of fuel we need on board this aircraft today. But, well, this fuel burn in 747, not quite up to scratch. So, we're actually going to increase it to about 83% of the fuel load today, which is a little bit on the heavy side, but we should be alright. Heathrow can give us long enough runway to deal with that. So, yeah, close that. Fuel's on the aircrafts, and we are now ready to start with the boarding process. Give me a second. There we go. Let's open up packs. Let's get our passengers on board today. So, start our flights. Flying from London Heathrow to JFK. We are British Airways 113, cruising at 36,000. We are for 7 hours and 56, say 8 hours on the trot. And we're departing in about 25-ish minutes. We're a 748, admittedly not a 744. And we have 396 people on board today. We have got Wi-Fi, we have got entertainment, we don't have boarding music. We do have a British Airways safety briefing. We've got snacks and drinks, we've got a meal service on board, so I'll start that, and passengers will now start boarding the aircraft for its flight today. So this is TFDI Design Packs, it's the Passenger and Crew Experience add-on, and something that I've used for a fair while, I quite like it. So let's jump down to the FMS, and let's start programming our flights for today. Right, position, so we're at Echo Golf Lima Lima, we're at Heathrow Airport, and we'll plug that in as our RS position, and head to the route page and plug in our flighting. So Echo Golf Lima Lima to Kilo Juliet Foxtrot Kilo. Flight is BA113. No company route, plug it in manually. Runway is 26 right, sorry 27 right, but we'll plug that in also in the system later. Let's jump to the next page, and let's plug in our waypoints for today. Starting off with Umlaut. After Umlaut, we fly to Meadog. Then we fly to Abapo. Which is going to be that one. Then we fly to PMOB. Oops, I need an M there, sorry, not an N. PMOB. Then we fly to Lanpi. Next page. We then fly to Baka. Followed by Olgon. So now we leave the standard waypoints and we fly a track. So we fly transatlantic track, starting off with 542 November. 542 November. So actually it stands for North. This is Northern Hemisphere 5420. Then we fly 543 North. Oops. 543 North. Next page. Whoops, not in database apparently. Let's have a look. 430 knots, sorry. Then we fly to 5435, followed by 5345. And then we hit Umesi, which is the entry points. Yeah, it's Mike. Entry points into Newfoundland and into the United States. Then fly to Migley, followed by Usbam. Then it's Tops, followed by Bravo Golf Romeo. It's going to be that one. Then it's Drawyah. Next page. Alpha Lima Bravo. Athos. And finally, Papa Whiskey Lima. And then that leads us onto the Papa Whiskey Lima 2 approach into JFK, runway 31 left at the moment. But we'll see how the weather changes that later on in the flights. So it's going to be that one. So activate that, execute that. Let's do a quick check of the plan mode here. Make sure everything is looking correct. So departs. And then fly towards Republic of Ireland. We cross that. Enter the track, which is fine. Enter the Newfoundland, enter the United States, and then slow descent down into JFK. Perfect. So zoom back in again. It's now plugging our departure, which as it stands is runway 27 right. Via the Umla 1 Foxtrot departure. So at the moment, 27 left, 09 right is out of use. The runway is currently closed for repairs, and therefore all departures use the northerly runway here at Heathrow at the moment. Although, come the end of September, the runway should reopen, and it should allow for services to start flying from it again. Right, performance initialization. Now I do know that it's Continental 230, but the aircraft doesn't accept that, so we'll skip this page and head over to the takeoff page. We can see it's 10 degrees flaps. The V speeds, we'll ignore those for now because the sim doesn't, well, at least in 747's case, not completely accurate. So there's a few small inaccuracies in the FMS, but nothing terribly breaking. Alright, so that's our FMS now set up. Let's jump to the overhead panel and let's start programming the rest of the aircraft. So we'll turn on the navigation lights, and that is that for now. No need for logo lights in stay time. As we fly towards the US, the sun should start to set, and so landing in the US should be rather nice. It'll be red skies, a bit cloudy, but should look rather good. Let's introduce ourselves as passengers, shall we? Good evening, gentlemen, and welcome aboard this flight. Flying British Airways 113 from London Heathrow to New York JFK, and a flight time today of around 8 hours. Departure should be nice and smooth, no real turbulence at the moment, and flying over the Atlantic should be nice and steady. Towards the US, we may see a few clouds, but nothing... Oops, modify that. That wasn't great, wasn't it? We'll try again. Good evening, gentlemen. Welcome on board British Airways Flight 113 from London Heathrow to New York JFK, where flight time today is around 8 hours. Should be clear skies on our departure, a few clouds here and there, but nothing too crazy. And turbulence should be rather smooth, especially once we head over the Atlantic. Flight time's around 8 hours today, and we hope you have a safe and pleasant journey with us today. Any questions, speak to our cabin crew as we prepare the final stages of departure. That'll do. That will do. Good evening, gentlemen. Welcome on board British Airways Flight 113 from London Heathrow to New York JFK, where flight time today is around 8 hours. Should be clear skies on our departure, a few clouds here and there, but nothing too crazy. And turbulence should be rather smooth, especially once we head over the Atlantic. Flight time's around 8 hours today, and we hope you have a safe and pleasant journey with us today. So we've got a few strong headwinds over the Atlantic right now, and so those headwinds will cause a little bit of slow down. But we try and speed things up a little bit, see how that goes. We fuel the aircraft up, passengers are boarding, all looking smooth. So we could probably get away with now starting up the APU. So we'll turn that on. We'll set the weather radar as well, that way we can also get the rings on the ND there, navigation display. And let's get the METAR information for Heathrow. Right, so it's currently QNH 1021. Flight director on. We'll climb up to 250 knots. That'll be past 10,000. And our cruising altitude today is flight level 360, 36,000 feet. Let's turn off the auto throttle for now. That comes on later. And that should be all of that. Oh yes, also vertical speed. Initially you climb at 1,000 feet per minute. And then once we pick up speed, we'll then be able to increase that a little bit more. But since the 747 is a big, heavy and slow aircraft to climb with, do need to give it the extra help it can. Right. Not too long now. We should probably start getting ready for pushback and taxi. Passengers don't expect departure for another 15 minutes or so. So we're right now a bit ahead of the schedule, which is always good to see. That's all fine. Flight plans have been set. Departure has been set. That should be good. Why don't you use flight level change? No, not today. Not today. Right. Let us set the beacon. Oh, so make sure the APU is running. So, AP generators available. External power's off. We'll turn on the beacon lights. And let's prepare the aircraft now for push and starts. So 747, 4 engines. Start them all one by one. It's going to take a couple of moments after pushback. So let's call the vehicle over. And let's get ready to go. Yeah, so the first attempt was a little bit laggy, so we're trying it again. This time looking much smoother than we were before, that's for sure. Much smoother. So I'm going to wait for the pushback to start now, which it has done. Release the parking brakes, and let's start up engine number 4. So start that. Start the fuel pumps.
We're ready to go when you are.
Thank you, cabin crew. We'll watch the N1 on the engine display there. And let's now start the fuel flow.
On behalf of
So flying the 747 today, British Airways colours. Flying the Landor livery. So when British Airways celebrates its 100-year anniversary, steer to the... No, it goes right, yeah, steer to the left. When British Airways celebrates its 100-year anniversary, they painted some of their aircraft in heritage liveries. Also, someone just flew over the airport there. Very naughty. Repainted some of their aircraft in heritage liveries, and in this case, Golf Lima Yankee was repainted in the... Sorry, Golf November Yankee repainted in the heritage liveries of Landor.
you can be repeated. Now's the time to get out any last-minute text messages if you need to, but we ask that once we
Let's
depart
now
from the gate, you
end
put
the
away
pushback.
any laptops or tablets. Thank you, and welcome
Let's then
aboard.
start up engine number 3. And so shortly, the safety demo will start in the cabin.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome aboard Flight 113, with service to New York. Our flight time will be roughly 8 hours. Now that the cabin door is closed, please
Fuel
make sure
flow
that all
starts.
devices are in airplane mode and your large devices are now shut down and stowed. Please fasten your seatbelt and make sure that all tray tables and seat backs are in a full upright and locked position for departure.
Yeah, it's a shame about this 747's being retired by British Airways. It should have been the aircraft I've flown on. Back in May, I should have gone to New York, and the return trip would have been on the BA 747. That trip got cancelled, and 747's been retired. Sadly, it's something I was so close to doing. I had the ticket in my hand, but unfortunately, one thing, I guess, not set to come true. So the BA safety demo now starts. I like it. It's a very nice tune, that. Very charming safety demo. Engine number 2. So today's demo comes as a part of PAX.
On this British Airways aircraft.
So it comes with PAX.
The captain and the crew are here for your safety. It is important that you pay attention and follow instructions carefully. First, check your seatbelt is securely fastened. Insert the metal tag into the buckle and tighten by pulling on the loose end. To unfasten, simply lift up the metal flap on the buckle and pull apart. You'll find the seatbelt sign in the panel above your head. When it's on, you must fasten your seatbelt. We'll provide extension seatbelts for infants. We suggest you keep your seatbelt fastened and visible during our flight, even when the sign is off.
Engine 1
your
now
life jacket
starts.
is either beside or underneath your seat. To use it, take it out of the container and place it over your head. Pass the tapes around your waist and tie them securely in a double bow at your side. Inflate your life jacket when you leave the aircraft. We will supply life cots for babies
flow
and life
starts.
jackets for children. In the unlikely event of the aircraft having to make an emergency landing, you'll be told to take this protective brace position. But when seated facing rearwards in Club World, you must adopt this position. We will now explain how to leave the aircraft in an emergency. Move quickly to the closest usable exit, taking nothing with you. High heel shoes must be taken off as they may tear the evacuation slide.
Engines are
Emergency lighting,
active.
including
We'll lower the flaps now down to 10
will help you
degrees.
find your way to the exits. These are clearly signed. There are 2 exits at the rear of the aircraft and 2 at the front of each cabin section. Your crew will now point out the exits nearest to you.
Engines are stable. We'll turn on the taxi lights.
To open the doors,
Let's head now down to the runways. Park and brake off. Increase the
opening the doors
throttle.
automatically inflates the evacuation.
Next stop, New York.
As you leave the aircraft, inflate your life jacket by pulling the red tag. If necessary, blow into this mouthpiece to top up the air. The life jacket is fitted with a light and a whistle.
Yes,
Your
very
oxygen
blue
mask is behind
engines.
the panel just above your head.
You can place
If
the
cabin
insides
air
of the
system should
cowlings.
fail, this will
Don't get
be
that too often.
released. Stay in your seat and pull the mask towards you to open your supply. Please note that the bag does not inflate. Place it over your mouth and nose and adjust the band to secure it, then breathe normally. Do make sure your own mask is correctly fitted before helping anyone else. In some areas, you release the mask by pulling on this coloured streamer. If you're in a Club World sleeper seat, you may need to reach through the dividing screen to retrieve your mask. All electronic devices, including mobile phones, must be switched off, and all headsets must be removed whenever the engines are running on the ground during takeoff, approach and landing. Please ensure your mobile phone and any devices that can send
Demo is going to the
calls
documents
or
folder. So
text
my
messages
documents, you can
remain
then
off for the flight.
add the
Any items
demo
with
sounds.
Flight safe mode should have this feature enabled now. Some electronic devices can be used once we're airborne.
So go taxi now to
Please check High Life
27
magazine. Take care
right.
your hand baggage isn't blocking the aisles or exits.
Airspace
You
looking
must
rather
put
clear at the
on the seat
moment.
in front
We'll
of
announce
you
on
or
the
in an overhead
IVA
locker.
that we are ready to
But
depart.
place items in the locker
No ATC at the
carefully.
moment,
They
at
may
least
fall
not
and
anyone
injure
locally. It's
someone.
Unicom 122.8.
As we prepare for takeoff, please make sure that your tray table is put away, your seat is upright, armrest is down. Please stow your individual video screen and footstool if you have them.
Okay, left here and then right.
Finally, take a look at the safety card in the seat pocket. If you have any questions, please ask your crew. We hope you have a relaxed and enjoyable flight.
Here comes the end of our safety briefing. At some point I will do an IVA tutorial, yes. That's something that will definitely be coming in the future. Alright, so down to the end of the runway, it should be a... we'll use the full length of the runway, so we'll go right down to the end. We'll then do a visual check, make sure that the runway is clear for us to depart, and if all goes to plan, we should be airborne within the next... well, according to PAX, airborne in 6 minutes. We're going to be a little bit ahead of schedule there. Hopefully get in the air within maybe 3 or 4. And yes, we are flying a 748 today, not a 744. Admittedly, it's one of the small inaccuracies that we're going to get in the stream. Also, the way Microsoft Flight Sim deals with 747 liveries is that you have textures on one side, it reverses them on the others. So, yeah, we won't be looking at this side of the airplane too much today. It has one texture for both sides and it just mirrors the effects. So, hopefully, with an updated model, we'll see that change. But for now, it is what it is. Right, so it's down to the end of the taxiway, make a left-hand turn, enter the runway, and then let's get ready to fly. Let's bring back the throttle slightly, don't go too fast. Yeah, the ground lines aren't quite there yet. Obviously, someone had a bit too much vodka before painting these lines. Well, not long to go now, so we're just passing the remnants of Terminal... that's the remains of Terminal 1, so it's currently all shut down and closed for reconstruction. Terminals 2 and 3 are active in the centre. You then have 5 at the rear. Terminal 4 in the far distance over there. Let's turn off the APU, sorry, since that's now active. So Microsoft Flight Sim, it's not perfectly optimised yet, to say the least. But for the most part, with the settings as they are, you can run it relatively alright. So right now Heathrow, I'm getting around 18 to 20 at the moment. Which is still usable, but not the perfect 30, which you've got it locked to. Alright, so hold short of the runway here. Visual check. Let's also alert IVA that we're about to depart from runway 27 right. So, no traffic on the right. Runway is clear. Nobody on approach from the other side. We'll turn on. Landing lights. Everything else is set. Cabin crew, please be seated for departure. Right. Cabin crew, please be seated for departure. Reject takeoff brake sets. Let's enter the runway, and let's get ready to depart. So it should be a rather good flight today. ETA. Well, it's likely like 4 in the morning in the UK when we land. And so here it will be around... What time would that be in New York? Maybe 11 PM New York time. We're chasing the sunset, so the closer we get to New York, the redder the sky should get. As it stands, weather looking rather calm for duration of this flight. A few clouds here and there, but nothing too bad for us to deal with today. So enter the runway. Right, engines up 40%. 1 to 4 are stable. Let's get going. Knots. V1. Rotates. Positive rates, gear up. Thank you who that was for subscribing on Twitch. Sorry, I missed your name there. Check it in a moment. But thank you very much for that, much appreciated. Flaps up 5. Pitch climb to 10 degrees. Right hand turn. We'll start heading towards our first waypoints. So it should be a rather pleasant flight today. Flaps up to 1 degree. Couple of moments, we shall start with the autopilot. So activate that, hold it at 1,000, we'll go 1,500 feet per minute. Actually, we can do two. Speed at 250 knots. And flaps. Raise them entirely. Right, that's our departure now sorted in the 747, so we'll keep it climbing now. Allow the autopilot to slowly take control of the systems, and eventually, once it realises what it's doing, it will then start bringing it across to life. So the 747 when it comes to autopilot, it's a little bit, I guess, shaky at times, but once it knows what it's doing, it is rather fine at what it does. Should pitch now for 2,000 feet per minute climb. Perfect. So now climbing, we're a steady 250 knots. And slowly leave London behind us. It's a beautiful aircraft, 747. So it's one of those that I wish I had an opportunity to fly on. Sadly, unlikely at this stage. Very, very beautiful aeroplane. That's passed through 7,000. These are the original sounds. Once you pass through 10,000, the ETA should appear on screen. But as you get closer to the cruise, that should then start to tick down. What am I doing on long flights? Well, today I've got nothing really in mind, so I'll carry on flying, have a shower later on. I've had dinner today, so just kind of sit here and talk to you guys basically today. No other major plans as it stands. Bit of an upgrade for our two flights today in the nose. Bit of an upgrade compared to some of the recent aircrafts. And let me tell you, really is a beauty this. It's big, it's heavy, it's slow, it burns fuel like nothing else. It's the 747. Right, so we pass through 10,000. Standard altitude should be set now. We'll turn off the landing lights. And now, we sit back, relax, and let the aircraft do the work for us. Also increase the speed now. So go straight over to Mach mode, go to Mach points. Mach point 6. There we go. To host passengers, you can use the microphone key, or you can use a preset voice input key. So I use shift 10 to speak to passengers. So later on the flight, we shall talk a little bit more of that. In-flight movies today, well, British Airways, you get a selection of movies, all available from the very outdated EFB systems at the back of the aircraft. Yes. 1080p today, natively in the sim, as well as streaming today, all 1080p. Cloud's looking rather nice ahead of us. Like I say, it should be a rather charming flight today, there's nothing really to go wrong ahead of us. Although, sometimes the simulator does have its own ideas in terms of what goes right and what goes wrong, but fingers crossed, today will be a good day. Touch wood, it's a good day. Increase the rate of climb to around 2,000 feet per minute. running on high settings right now, a mix of high and ultra. Ooh, the anti-icing. Oh boy. Turn the anti-icing on before we get too much ice accumulation on the aircrafts. Should hopefully start to thaw out the windows. A little bit of ice accumulation, but nothing too much today. So I plan to get the RTX 3080 when that comes out. I do plan to pick up the 3080 on release. Yes, so when the DC Designs Concorde does come out, fingers crossed I'll be able to pick that one up. Should be a rather good one to fly. So I'm expecting around flight time 8 hours today. Headwinds are a little bit on the strong side. Should be alright. Hopefully once we're at cruise also can speed things up a little bit and just get ourselves a little bit faster towards New York. We're at Mach 0.7 now. Flying through a layer of high altitude cloud. Is Microsoft Flight Sim CPU intensive? Yes. Yes it is. Am I a real pilot? No. No I'm not. About to pass through 20,000 feet now, flight level 200. We'll increase the rate of climb again to 2,500 since we've got the speeds to manage that. Not long to go now to hit cruise. Not long to go. Once you learn this stuff, experience. The more you fly, the more you get used to the systems, and eventually you pick up all the basics. Not sure about which version I'll be getting. Probably not the Founders Edition. Perhaps Asus or Asus ROG are the two main ones I'm looking at right now. Asus or Asus Republic of Gamers. Now breaking through the high altitude clouds. The rest of the trip will now give us clear skies all the way to New York. So like I say, nice upgrade for our pilots in the front of the aircraft today. Bigger cockpit, much more spacious, a lot more room to play around with. So I'm flying the Thrustmaster HOTAS Warthog today. The Thrustmaster HOTAS Warthog is my stick and thrust of choice. That's passed through 25,000 now. We'll decrease our rate of climb now, so it's dropping a little bit on the speed side. And so we'll give the aircraft a couple of moments to kind of catch up with that. Goes, woo! Well, that's us entering the jet stream there. That was us entering the jet stream. A little bit of a gust of turbulence there. Passengers at least is relatively happy. Yeah, so we've got live weather right now on the ND. And that is all current and up to date. Not yet. The meal service hasn't started yet. Meal service won't start until we get to cruise. Right, turn off seatbelt sign. Let's now allow passengers to start moving around the cabin since it's relatively stable right now. And so I think it's now more than safe to let passengers start moving.
The flight crew has turned off the fasten seatbelt sign. You can now get up and move about the cabin. However, we ask that you keep your seatbelt fastened when you do in case of unexpected turbulence.
IVAO today, flying on IVAO. I'm 21 years old, 21. Mm, 21's pretty average for... I mean, if you go flying as a career, then at 21, you know a lot of this stuff. For me, this is a hobby, and so I do know the basics. The more you fly, the more you get used to this. Favourite transatlantic routes? Not too sure. Nothing really in mind. I mean, I've never flown transatlantic before. Should have flown in May. That trip got cancelled. There's a few small differences between the stock and the ROG. Design is one aspect. Some cards provide different features, some have different software. More fans, more cooling, all that kind of stuff. The BA livery, part of the Mega Liveries pack for Microsoft Flight Sim. Though I've got a few small things. I've actually got a feeling I might not be able to finish this flight tonight. I don't know. We might not be able to finish this flight tonight. So I might do this. I don't know. Because I started this really late. I want to start this around 6:30 PM, but because we've pushed this back so far, this messes up my plans for everything. I don't know. I'd like to even potentially delay it till tomorrow. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Because what time? It's now kind of 10:30. I finished this at 5 in the morning. I've got to be out by 6, so... Can I afford an all-nighter tonight? No, I can't really. You can't increase sim rates. R plus and R minus doesn't do anything. So... fuel on board. You can calculate that via there. Total fuel 328.3. That's in pounds. Well, I do all this because, like I said, I was hoping to start about an hour ago, or hoping to start about 2-3 hours ago. But, not a boot sale, train driving. Volunteer train driving. Controls. Keyboard. Thank you for subscribing. Porky, much appreciated. Yeah, sim rate is set. Plus Smitey's change. But it doesn't do anything. Yes, I have got work in the morning. Tell you what. You say that, Ian. Don't forget the fuel burn set across really horrible. And if I were to go to sleep at any point, I'd probably end up just running out of fuel and ending up. Yeah, press Sarge, I do. But then plus and minus is just zooming in and out. Tell you what. We'll do this tomorrow evening. Read this tomorrow evening. I'll start a bit earlier and we will get the full flight done, but right now tonight's not a good time for me, I'm afraid. Like I say, I want to get the best for you guys in terms of content, and right now this is not the best. Right now is not a good time for me. I mean, a lot of that comes down to also the fact that I am just tired. I've been streaming every single day now since, what, 1st of August. It's now the 5th of September. Yeah, I've not had a proper night's sleep for months now. So, okay. We'll pause it for now. Tomorrow morning we'll fly Wizz Air. We'll fly from Wizz Air from Vienna to Thessaloniki. We'll fly that in the morning. Then I'll do my train driving. And tell you what, if you guys follow me on Instagram, tomorrow I'll try and get a live stream on my Instagram going on to train driving as well. So try and get that sorted out as well. And then in the evening we'll do the this flight once I've fully rested and once I'm in a bit of a better state of mind. I mean, I'm not bad right now. I'm just tired. It's been a long day, a long month for me. So I'll go to sleep. Tomorrow morning we'll do Wizz Air. Tomorrow evening we'll do this. But for now, I'll rest. I think that's what I need to do right now. I apologise for that. It should have been quite a nice stream to New York, but at the end of the day, I do need to put my health in front sometimes. And so, like I say, we'll replan it. We'll start from the beginning. Is it safe to go to work with no sleep? No, absolutely not. I mean, I've got to have a minimum set of hours for rest. And because we started just about 3 hours, 4 hours late, I no longer have that minimum rest requirement. So we'll reset, we'll restart. Tomorrow we'll do it properly. I do apologise, guys. I was hoping to get you do this properly, but right now not the best time. So we'll start again. We'll do it all tomorrow. You take care. Have a good night. I'll reset the stream tomorrow. We're flying from London to New York. You have a good one. Bye bye.